Hey guys, I just want to show you something that I feel is important that I didn't talk about when we drew this and painted it, and that is just getting the perspective of the pot correct and how to do that and how to create the accurate angle and shape as we're drawing the pot. So first of all, this is an interesting tool that you can use for any time you happen to be drawing round shapes. If you're drawing, a cup or a pot, or maybe you're drawing arches or like a carriage, horse, carrot, and buggy with wheels on it, you can use this tool. So you first need to have the horizon so you can get proper perspective. And say that your pot is okay. The easy part of the pot to draw is the two sides of the pot. So if you know the width of your pot, which is like, I'll make that my width right there, these two dots. And then what we need to do, say that this is the bottom of the pot. I'll make it slightly more narrow. And then so what we can do is take a line to the center of the pot, and there's our horizon line, and then take a straight edge to get this side of the pot lined up with this perspective. And okay, so here's the middle of the pot, here's the sides, and then so let's see, the front of the pot should have a deeper space here than the back of the pot to the middle. So let's see. What we need to do is get our square. Okay, and so you can see I made the front a little deeper, wider than, or taller, I mean, than the back side of the pot from the middle. Okay, and then we can half these squares this way, and then let's even take a straight line to quarter or half these squares in this direction. Okay, and then what we can do is take, so here's the side of the pot, and then here's the front of the pot, the back of the pot, and what's going to happen is we can curve and make a little crescent shape right here. So there's this crescent right in this area, and do the same thing on this side, trying to keep that similar in like the spacing, and then same thing back here. So you can see the distance of this space right here from that line to the edge of the pot, and then how much space is left here. So let's try to get that sort of comparable back here. So it's like there's one, 2.5 maybe. Okay, that seems about right. Okay, and then there we go. So if you want to, there's your pot. I might actually pull this edge out just a little more. It just helps us get to that correct making it symmetrical and in perspective. Okay, so the bottom of the pot, so let's measure this distance right there. The bottom should be about right there. And so let's erase all these lines so we can see this better. Okay. And the bottom of the pot, so we can basically do the same thing. Erase this so we can see what we're doing now. So let's take the straight edge, and so here's the distance from the bottom of the pot to the edge. And then the back of the pot will do the same thing, but it'll be a little shorter. Okay, that's the back of the pot, which we won't see, but just for measurements, for proper perspective, it might help us. And then, so we can take our perspective lines. Okay. Okay, there's the front of the pot, there's the back of the pot. So, and then here's our squares. We can do our squares again. And then, so, whoops, I did the wrong direction here. Whoops, I did it the wrong way. Erase these lines. They need to go this direction. Yeah. And then, so there we go. Then we can take from there, do our little crescent shapes again. So there's the crescent right in here. You can get an idea for the back should be a little smaller than the front one. and that's gonna keep the pot in perspective. We won't see the back of the pot, but at least we'll know it helps us get this front of the pot accurate. And I might just add a little bit. I feel like it needs to round out a little better down here, but not change it too much, you know? Okay, yeah, so there we go. That was a lot of measuring, but it's kind of a fun way to get, if you have round objects in your painting or drawing, um, you know, maybe glasses or a glass, or like if you have a perspective drawing of archways, or like a courtyard with archways, this really works well. And then there you go, there's the pot. Yeah, and then you can erase your perspective lines. Trying not to draw multiple lines. As Mary White calls those lottery lines. As long as you do enough of them, one of them's gonna be right. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that was helpful, and yeah, probably would have been good to do with the pot before, but hadn't thought about doing that until now, so I hope that helps, and for your future um, drawings, if you paint things with round objects and things, uh, maybe this will be useful. Okay, happy painting.